Hey guys, welcome back to the garage.
We're gonna jump back into the Miata.
So for those of you that haven't been following along with this build, one of our recent goals is to revamp the interior of the Miata. Now, part of that is including replacing this old worn out soft top with a brand new black one to match the new interior that we've installed. We also decided to uninstall the seats so that we could take them apart and add some heated seat elements. We also decided to use this time to go ahead and work on our custom rear center console that we'll be building from the ground up. This will be able to take up some of the space near where the roll bar is installed and make it more useful. Feel free to go back and check out some of our old videos to get up to where we are in our current progress. With the general shape of the center of the console completed, it's now time to work on these side extensions, which will extend from the center of the console outwards. Using a lot more cardboard templating, we're able to get a good shape and a good rough estimate of where these panels are going to lie. We also decided to work on this rear fabric panel, which will basically take up the space between the inside of the soft top and where the back of our center console ends. In order to get this panel completed, it will require many more installations, adjustments, and reinstallations in order to get the form and fitment right, including adding more of these eyelets and adjusting some of their locations so that we can later use fasteners to fasten this panel down to the vehicle. One last final test fit and the final adjustments can be made to make sure that everything fits in place. We will have to reinstall this as it will be installed after the soft top, but this should be the last check fit before we're done. It's finally time to start reinstalling the new soft top, which is relatively easy as far as the brackets go. It's only a few bolts on each side, but due to how stiff and tight the new top is, it does get a little bit complicated when installing the rain rail fasteners. Because of how tight the new soft top was, it didn't really want to reach both the rain rail fasteners and the A-pillar, so once the rain rail fasteners were all completed, we then tried to clamp it to the A-pillar and let it really stretch out and relieve some of that tension from being the new top. Once the top had some time to stretch out and really relieve some of the tension, we were able to move inside and start installing the rear fabric. The rear fabric will utilize the same fasteners that hold the back side of the top, starting here at the center and then working our way outwards. With the new soft top and rear fabric installed, we can now go back to templating out our side extension panels, this time moving from cardboard into the foam board. With the side panels now mocked up in foam, it's now time to remove the center part of the console so we can start modifying the base plate. Now that the base panel has been removed, we can start to remove sections of the base panel that will live under the side extensions. What this will do is it will allow the center console and the base plate in particular to be either removed or installed from the vehicle more easily. With the base plate trimmed up, it's now time to reinstall our panel back into the car. Now it's time to trim up some brackets so that we can go ahead and hard mount our actual ABS plastic panels for the side extension. As you saw in an earlier video, we began to break down our seats so that we could install our heated seat kits. Basically, this included everything from removing the back of the seat from the bottom, pulling out a bunch of pins and staples, and basically breaking down the seat itself so that we can expose the cushion so we can add the heated seat elements themselves. As you can see, this can be a very lengthy procedure to remove all the clips and tie downs necessary to expose the actual cushion of the seat itself. And you'll see here in a moment that basically these heated seat kits come with an electrical heated element, as you can see right there, which usually comes with some sort of adhesive on the back. Once the adhesive is peeled, you go ahead and stick down your element, and you want to make very sure to not puncture any of the heat elements with any of the clips or retaining methods that you use in order to put the seat back together. Now, since we have previously completed the bottom of this seat is just about done, and once that's completed, we can go ahead and move on to the next one. All in all, the bottom of the seat is not much different from the top of the seat, except for the slight difference in heater element placement. Everything else is pretty much the same. Attach the heater element using your adhesive, run your power cable out through the back, and then use whatever method you seem necessary to reattach the fabric and complete the seat. The last thing to consider, especially with these aftermarket seats, is reattaching the seat rails. So in this case, we actually went to attach our seat rails and realized that they really weren't in that great a condition. So we actually will touch later in the video on installing a new set of seat rails and making sure everything is good. Let's move on to the top of this seat and go ahead and wrap everything up. As I mentioned earlier, the last thing holding this seat back would actually be the new set of seat rails that we ordered, which just came in and we managed to get them installed pretty easily. With the seats completed and ready to be reinstalled in the vehicle, it's a good time to go ahead and wrap up the rest of the heated seat system. That includes everything from the 2 switches that will operate the heated seats as well as the relays which will power it. This requires a power source as well as a ground. The ground is easy, I can pull it right off the chassis, and the power source I can pull directly from the battery, even though this will be a temporary setup until I can make it an ignition switch lead. With everything wired up, I can go ahead and organize my work and then start reinstalling the seats. Alright guys, I think that's going to wrap up this video.
Now that we have the seats back in the Miata, we can go ahead and drive it.
Also, stay tuned for more content as I continue to work on the center console outside of the car.
And thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
And we'll catch you in the next video.